Hey, 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 people. Guess what? It's Friday.
Beards on the street.
Beards on the street. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry we're a little bit tardy today because I was having some more technical difficulties.
I like how we're being so cozy lately.
I know. Well, that's part of why we're being so cozy is we couldn't get the freaking third camera to work. So, but Here we are, baby. We're on the show, and we've got Brysen with us. How you doing, brother?
Doing good. Excited for Friday.
Welcome. It's been a whole other week. Let's talk about last weekend, dude. That was kind of cool, man. With my kid and running. So Mason, as you all know. The single parent project, he had a big money, what would you call it? A charity to raise money for that charity, and he ended up running for 24 hours straight, which unbelievable.
He clicked over 70 miles for the 24-hour run.
He was just a little bit short, and so after it was all over and said and done, he actually went and ran to make it 70.
I was talking to his wife. That speaks just volumes.
That's how he is.
Who he is.
Yeah.
Like, literally, he was done, but he went and made sure he hit his goal.
Yeah. Well, he hit his goal.
Pretty
There's
incredible.
no question about it. So, good kid, did a good job. I'm really, really proud of him. I'm just going to throw this up there. If anybody out there in the big bad world wants to go ahead and donate, there's your link with the QR code. Just hit that QR code, and you can throw a little bit of money at him.
What it was a kind of a not like the kickoff to his preparation in 26 when he's going to run from Seattle, and the map's up already. From Seattle to Miami Beach, 3,434 miles in 69 days.
Yeah, is that crazy?
I don't know why
So, anyways,
incredible.
Mason, nice job, kid. We're really, really proud of you, buddy. And
we also met some great people with the single parent project, and we did. We've talked about how we're going to kind of streamline a little bit of our monthly mixers, and focus around
Matt
this.
And Amanda,
and focus around this as a more of a ongoing charity to keep building, keep growing, and actually help him get to where he's going to be able to have the support for that run coming up in 26.
Yeah, it's going to be a big deal. I couldn't imagine running from freaking Seattle to Miami. No. Are you kidding me?
Brysen, you run it all?
No, it was reminded me of like Forrest Gump.
Right,
how he doesn't stop running.
He's going.
What's funny is I watched that the very next day.
Did you? Did.
Yeah, I sure did.
He needs to grow out the hair, get the green booty shorts, headband. He ought to do that.
Yeah, he should.
He totally
trashed white shoes.
Right.
at least for a part of it,
right? At least for the scene with the red rock behind him,
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool.
Would be perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe you can find probably the same highway at some point.
There is. Probably is coming down that part.
Yeah.
It'd be cool.
So, let's go right into Aaron and I are excited. You're going to start seeing a lot of posts from myself and Aaron out there just about our progress with this new program that we're putting together for our webinar series based around the VIP 50.
The goal is to better have a clearinghouse and a training support tool for our team here locally, but it's going to be, we've kind of figured it out, it's going to be on a national basis, which we're really excited about. And got some really cool stuff. I mean, it's all coming together, dude. We're creating some really special stuff with workbooks and worksheets, and I'm excited. I can't even wait. I know I've had some pretty strong focus on it, and it's going to help our team. It's going to help our business. It's going to bring us new business. I mean, the whole gamut. I'm real excited about it. Just wanted to share. I know I did last week, but I'm kind of proud of it. So let me hit it again. It's a logo.
Damn!
Animated logo. You can't see what he's doing. I'm over here looking over his shoulder.
Yeah. So I'm pretty proud of that. Chirp at us on Facebook. Send us a message and tell us what you think of that. I'm curious. Actually, I'm looking for feedback on a whole lot of stuff. But bottom line is, I'll just kind of give you guys a taste. Like, this will be one of our. You know how the process is, Aaron. You go out and you advertise on Facebook or Instagram or wherever it is, and
control group.
Yeah, I mean, you advertise out there. I mean, obviously we have a very tight niche that we're going into. I mean, it's specific for the real estate industry in the beginning. I mean, quite frankly, anybody that's in the service industry could absolutely benefit from the VIP 50 program. But we are focusing on agents and you know, the cool thing about it is you put an ad out there. Let's say, for example, learn how to do 50 deals in your first year. Mm-hmm. You know, how many agents do you know that are doing 50 plus deals? You know, it's a pretty small elite group. We were talking because you are or were an agent and
Still are, sadly.
Yeah, that's all right.
No, it's good. It's just shifting so much.
But seriously, Brysen, if you were just cruising around on your social media and you saw something pop up that said, "Hey, you want to do 50 deals as a real estate agent in your first year," would it pique your interest?
Oh yeah,
perfect.
Yeah.
So that's the concept, and then it's going to start throwing them on, of course, into a funnel that will start going down. Like I love this: enhance your word of mouth presence. Why aren't your friends and family referring business to you?
That one's big. I was just talking to Aaron about that a little bit. It's like that's a bad thing. I don't advertise much. That's my fault because I'm like, oh.
You know, and I was actually listening to you, even though I was pretty intent on what we were doing. But that's what it seriously comes down to, bro, is it's and I loved hearing you say, it's nobody else's fault but my own.
Right.
Totally.
And it seriously cracks me up that in the industry, the big push, I mean, you always hear about you're supposed to tap into your SOI, but most of the brokerages are pushing you to do X number of cold calls a day, calling your fizzballs, calling your expireds, and you know, hitting the phones and doing the I call it shit work. You know,
Yeah.
It's just call after call after call with people that you don't know. People that don't know you, they don't trust you, you have no relationship with them at all. And quite frankly, they're usually pissed off at you because they've been so inundated with phone calls that you're just another one of the people that are bugging them.
Yeah.
You know, why would you want to do that for your business? Me personally, I don't. If I had to do that every day, if that's the only way that I could make this business work, I would not be in this business. No question.
Very few would be.
Very well, a lot of people do it because, I mean, let's face it, some people are scared to actually talk to people they know, and they feel like they're putting them out and they're just a sales guy giving them a sales pitch. You know, okay, what do you want now? Do you know what I mean? That's not how our program is set up. Our program is all about giving to the people that you know, love, and trust, and they know and love and trust you. And in return, you're building a better, stronger relationship, which we all want. Mm-hmm. And in return of that, when they hear about any business going on out there in the real estate industry, who do you think they're going to talk about? It's that simple. Yeah. And so, you know, it's people want relationships. People in your life want you to succeed. They want to help you succeed. It's just a matter of you putting yourself in the position where you can actually do that, right?
Be in a relationship rather than them feel obligated to do business with you, but you're actually in relationship with them every day. So,
you know, this is another slide we're going to have on there, Brysen. I know you can't see this, but it's basically talking about how harsh our market is right now. You know, with all the NAR changes, with lower agent commission coming up, you were just sitting in there just barely talking
stuff about that kind of come up.
Housing shortages, interest rates. I mean, election year. It's you know, if you really do look at the overall picture of real estate, and trust me, there's plenty of real estate being bought and sold. I'm not saying there isn't, but it's a tough market, especially we're coming out of.
Look how many agents we have right now. We're at all-time peak again.
Again,
because I started 19 years ago, so I started in that bigger peak right before the crash. Mm-hmm. So I started in that peak when we had way too many agents.
Right.
Still the same thing comes about. What average agent does one transaction a year? Still
Right.
the same stat. Like, that's crazy.
So I really do feel that our system has serious valuable message to send to people that are in the industry on how they need to set up their business correctly. You know, I use the analogy in some of our slides about basically building the house. You've got your dirt. Your dirt can't just be a hillside. You can't just go and build sideways on a hill. You've got to prep it and get it ready to roll. You can't build on dirt that's been turned up without handling it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you've got to have your footings, then you've got to have your foundation, and then you build your structure. Yep. And so we kind of tiered that up and kind of used that as an example for what we're doing. You're building a very strong business because, you know, you're creating your SOI list, you're reaching out to your SOI list in with valuable information and with intent. And then you have the best CRM that you can use, your contact management, so that you actually can simplify your life, not make it harder. And ultimately, it all leads to business. And this is the same thing. If you build your business strong, if you build your business the correct way, you can have strong business until you quit.
Right.
And going.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, you get to talk to a bunch of people that you actually like. Yeah. Right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's awesome. So anyways, guys, I'll show one more. This is kind of a cool one. We kind of wanted to depict. It's got a guy standing at the bottom of a big mountain. And, I mean, that's how it feels a lot of times. Especially when you're trying to take on something new or you know, it just is this massive thing that you got to climb, and you get so frustrated, just like, how there's no way I can get to the top of that mountain. But if you really simplify it, if you bring it all back to, okay, first step right here, just do this. Yeah. And then when you've done that, go to the second step and do that. And if you just keep your head down and follow the system, by the time you're done, you're standing on top of the mountain, which is really cool. You know, and these are just some, for those of you out there, if you want, take a gander at it, but it's just some of the real huge benefits of the VIP system. So for any of you out there that are agents, and you're interested in finding out more about what we're doing with our VIP 50, reach out to myself or Aaron, and let's chat, because we're putting together a test group. Yeah. We're putting together a test group where basically, I mean, guys, we're going to charge thousands of dollars for this information and to teach you. I mean, come on. If you can do 50 deals a year, is it worth it for you to pay a couple thousand to freaking learn how to do that?
Easily. You're already paying that with MLS fees and all this other fees.
Yeah, no kidding. So bottom line is if you have an interest, we're looking for a test group for this beginning to kind of fine tune it and work out the bugs. Reach out to us, because we'll teach you for free. How about that?
There you go.
All righty, let's chat about this cat right here across from us right now. Let's throw this up there, Mr. Brysen Parteridge. Hey, the Parteridge family.
Partridge family. Partridge.
He's the CEO of Vixo Link.
Yes.
What's Vixo Link, man?
So we are a self plug-and-play embedded platform that helps out any underwriting solutions for lenders. We highly cater into small business and merchant cash advance lenders and a few other verticals. But we really save a lot of money as far as development costs, which are outrageous, and time on market. So we can get underwriting data and analytics to you in no time and save everyone thousands of plug-and-play solution to any CRM. Okay. So we have live in Salesforce, HubSpot, and we can pretty much plug and play any code, one line of code, into any CRM. So again, building that system where you can track everything, and we're giving you almost 100% market coverage to banks as a complete.
So what's your preferred target clientele you're looking for?
It's usually small business lenders and merchant cash advance lenders. It just depends on the vertical on those, because we can cater the software as a smart enough intelligence side where if you're doing 50 grand to 2 million, you're probably going to pull a lot more data from that particular client.
Right.
Where merchant cash advance lenders, a lot of these guys are like the payday lenders to say, hey,
payday loan companies.
Yeah, pretty much almost like that.
Okay.
So they'll do average of like $1,200 to $5,000 with them. So they just want to go use our software to track any income deposits, pull statements, or send the paper back out to someone
Help them
else.
decide whether their people are lend worthy.
Yeah, and right now it's crazy. This is why I've had this vision and built this for the last 4 years. Is right now all the lending industry, most people can probably relate to this, is they use paper statements and they'll email them back to each other, and they don't even know if they go apply for
Which is dangerous in this day and age.
beyond.
Right.
So I have a lot of people I've heard this from. They'll send out those payment statements overseas, pay someone that's cheap for data entry. They'll put it in their own risk portfolio and send it back to the lender for them to actually do the risk assessment. I'm like, are you kidding me?
The chain of command has already been broken way before.
And what are they doing with that paper afterwards?
Right.
You're already paying them a minimal amount, and they know that you're getting away from paying them small compared to what we're making as far as exchange rates.
They don't
so
care.
where are they sending it out to? If they see a statement that comes in that has 50 million on there, and they see it's Aaron, he's like, maybe let's try and target him for some scams.
You some bitch, you lied to me.
I know.
But that's where he came up with it. It's
I
archaic.
wish I
on
had
how-
that account.
it's so archaic in how the system's been done for 20 or 30 years.
Right.
And we all know that the system in small business and merchant cash advance, I call it the wild, wild west. Like there's a sheriff in town, there's regulations, but it's nothing like lending, like mortgage lending.
Right.
And it's going to change.
It sounds scary to me. I mean, this is the first time I've ever been exposed to this, but it sounds scary.
Yeah. So now we have a portal where we can actually share all of that. So the customer is now secure, and the user or the lenders and brokers are all secure. Now they can actually share via our data link, and starting at $1, like there's no point not to do it.
Right.
And now the customer is more secure through our APIs, and the user, the end user, the broker, lender is far more secure.
Right.
And quicker. Now they can actually go data assess and see, okay, I want to go build this actual bank issued statement. We can actually fetch the actual bank issued statement from the bank based on client's permission data.
Right.
So we can fetch that instantaneously.
Well, that's even easier on the client because
Correct.
I mean, it's pretty daunting when you go to buy and you're first trying to get there's so much stuff they need that, like, dude, it's a
insane.
lot.
So if I can send you out a text or an email that's white labeled to your company, you're gonna have a higher adoption rate, and the customer's like, oh, great, this is ABC funding I'm with right now. I'm gonna hurry and do that application. Doesn't look like the scam stuff we were talking about before.
Right.
It's via SMS or email, so you have it straight to your phone.
Wow.
Most people don't use their. You can use your laptop as
That
much.
was
It's just-
way streamlined.
So how did you get into this? How did you fall into this?
This has been the dream and passion and kind of luck. I don't know.
I mean, are you a programmer? Or
No, not far from it. So it's kind of shifted how much has changed for me in the last.
Sounds
15
like
years.
it.
I mean, you start from real estate,
right.
and I actually started in lending. Funny enough, doing like FHA streamlines back in the day,
Okay.
20-something years
Me
ago.
too.
That's so
dude,
funny.
me too.
And it's funny talking like, oh, I'm saving you 7% down to 5%, but you're really kind of screwing them on the back. That's why I had to get out of that. Like you were just really tackling these other points, but people wanted to save one or two payments because people are so cut dry
Right.
on cash. So going through real estate, then I've always dabbled in the software too. I've always found a good mix for me was always doing okay real estate, and then also like a software gig.
Okay.
Because real estate, 9 to 5, a lot of times you're not doing as much. You're on the phone like 5 to 9 is when you're doing a lot of real estate.
Right.
Let's face it, that's when you're hitting the streets, talking, trying to find the people that are out there. Saturdays, Sundays, you're sitting open houses, having fun. So I've always kind of done a mix of both. And I dabbled on a whole bunch of other different softwares from like document management to engineering software. And then I started working with a banking aggregate company. That's actually local here. And the banking aggregate company makes those connections to the bank. I'm like, okay. So I brought this up with my product team. I'm like, well, why don't we do something like this, a plug and play solution? And they're like, give us an ROI, which they didn't really care about because that means they only cater to the typical corporate stuff. They only like top 10 people. That's all we care about.
Right.
I'm like, okay, we're not going to do that. I was like, let's do something plug and play for people so they can actually take off and use it. Because I was selling just the raw code.
Right.
So now here's an out-of-box solution that caters to
It's
your
plug and play now.
Plug and play, and it's also now in your CRM. So now you're signing up and going. You're not signing the contracts. You're not using the biggest smoke screens I got, and I don't think they were even smoke screens. It's like, hey, we don't have dev resources. And I don't think that was even a smoke screen most of the time.
Right.
It's always limited, and it's super costly, beyond costly. And I'm giving you something raw that if you don't know how to use that code, it's almost useless.
Right.
I use an analogy all the time. It's like they give you a Geo Metro motor, you got to turn that into a Ferrari.
Right.
If you don't know how to do that, you end up in the middle, or it just
a
fades
Metro.
off and you don't have it. Yeah. So I got that idea, let's make this plug and play. let's make everything the lenders want, and let's actually listen to the lenders and the customers for once. Like, what do they need and want? This is what they want.
Very cool.
So I went through that, and it's been 4 years running of building this out. And luckily we're doing some cool stuff because now we can do instant payments inside of our system, so we can instantly fund. We have DocuSign integration in our own e-sign. We have a huge OCR engine. So any of those traditional ways. So we're trying to like ease in the market and disrupt it in a soft way, because we can take any of those paper statements now. If you get those in the customer portal, they can upload them securely. Now, if they do get them via sent email, they can actually take those same things, download them, and put them into our system, and then we'll scan them and run through an OCR and analyze that all for them in real time.
Wow.
So now we're taking, okay, here's your archaic way, but we're giving you all the income, DTI stats, and you can make your decision from there.
All that's easy to look at
So
and
it pulls
easy to
credit,
see.
verifies payment history, integrates banking, and actually gives you a full working picture of this person's worthiness, really, basically.
Correct.
Like
Income, expense, all transactions are now dynamic, not static. So now if I see something that's a little sketchy in there, like a casino, I can go actually search that immediately. Or you can program our analytics to actually go find that for you and instantly kind of kick those out or pull them in. And a huge thing, if they maintain their banking connection with us, which most of them do, and a lot of our clients will keep us in the T's and C's, because now you're taking two things. You're taking away risk, because now you're watching daily balances and transactions if there's anything that comes up. And also you're kind of hurting the salesman a little bit. Or the salesman can actually use the software to be like, hey, we funded you 50 grand last month. You're doing great on your income. Do you want another 50 grand?
Right.
Yes or no? Or maybe do that. Say, hey, we see something up, but we're not giving you this next disbursement because we saw there's a huge spend.
A hiccup.
Something's up. What's going on?
So what does something like this cost?
We started at $1. So I've actually created something.
$1.
So I've created
your dollar for you, baby.
We've created something that's true plug-and-play solution that is pay-as-you-go. And a true pay-as-you-go model. Most people say, hey, do this, but you go sign this huge ARR contract, and then you kind of get what you want. Our system's brought in to do it exactly how you need it, per that client, per that
it's
loan.
all custom.
All custom. So if you see something that comes in, and see the bounce is negative $50 or something like that, you can instantly kick them out. You're not going to do anything with them. But you're like, hey, this person has a decent bounce. Let's go actually pull the last 90 days of history, included that dollar. Right? Let's go see what's going on.
So it saves you time too, because you're not sitting there chasing a bunch of paperwork on somebody that's just it's not going to work.
Zero paperwork. Because we have a front-end application where we actually directly embedded inside of any front app. So like you have a loan application, like, okay, link your accounts.
Wow.
And we have also a manual way, if you're in your CRM, hey, send out this invite link. So it takes away all that pain. And
So are you bringing on other new CRMs?
we are. That comes down to the client. The organizations or companies that sign with us, who they use, what they use. A lot of them are proprietary. A lot
We
of
need to
people
hook you up with ours.
Yeah, it'd be easy to do.
Yeah, it's Brivity.
Brevity? I haven't heard of that one. I learn a new one almost every day.
I'm sure you do.
It's crazy.
There's a lot of them out there.
And we touch so many different verticals, or we can. Like we're getting into a lot of factoring and debt because they need the same data.
Huh.
They want to maintain those clients. They want to see the transactions. They want to pull the ACH details, or they want to fund instantly from us, or pull, because we do a push and pull concept.
Wow.
And we can put credit in the system, but we don't touch credit as much. I'm not a big believer in credit.
Right.
I think it's archaic. I think
It's so freaking stupid.
it's how people report. It just who reports the what. It's just dumb. And so
And
that's,
all three of them are competing with each other all the time, and it's dumb.
Yeah, so that's why I see a lot of these lenders that they still pull it sometimes, but a lot of times it really doesn't show creditworthiness, especially in the smaller merchant cash advance when they want the smaller. They just want to see if there's income in there. And some of these people might be a gig economy where they're not actually having anything reported, or they're using some of the neo banks, the digital banks, where they don't care as much.
That's true. Whole new way
Wow.
to evaluate.
What a thing you fell into and created.
The good
Funny thing is, so run back. I see we're in small lake city, so I run into Brysen socially, in the social crowds.
Yep.
But I was out doing one of my Sunday walks, and I'm walking, and there's this group of people lined the bank of the lake. We're out Daybreak Lake, and he's out there just eyes closed, all of them just sun gazing basically, meditating. I stood next to him for like 5 minutes. Finally, I'm like, I'll just text him later.
All of a sudden, you felt a presence.
I felt that presence, but it's like I had other people by me.
Right.
You know, that weird like presence, you're like, but I was just like in the moment, just do my thing.
He was in. I wasn't gonna interrupt. But
Oh, yeah, he
Kind of like I do every morning with you.
I know. I've been there in it, dude. And he goes,
Come on, Aaron.
Let's go.
grabs the door.
And I love that stuff. That's what's helped me keep my sanity of building a company and doing everything from this is meditation.
You showed me a picture. Your daughter's
My daughter's
meditating last night after sushi.
Yeah, if my kids come down and see me in the morning, they'll know they come sit next to me, and they'll just like hang with me like 3 to 5 minutes.
That's awesome.
So they'd know, like, don't bug me, but I also encourage them like to join, which I didn't grow up
join
that
in.
way whatsoever.
Right.
Like, no. And I always tell them, like, hey, why do we do this? It's like, well, to keep calm. Like, no, well, that's one reason a little bit, but it's like the main reason more is your mental growth. Like,
Right.
You want to grow that. You need to control your mind to control your body and everything else. And that's really what I'm trying to like tell my kids that are 6 and 8. So they'll just come sit next to me, and they'll do that for a little bit, or randomly I'll see them like after sushi or on a rock somewhere.
Dude, I don't meditate, and you want to know why? Because it would be scary to be alone with this dude.
That's
kidding.
the reason to do it.
I'm just kidding.
He and I both do the same.
I know you're both going. Everybody else out there is like, oh, whatever,
That's
dude.
exactly why you do it.
Yeah, I was that way. Really kind of staunch on that.
I'm
years
not
ago.
that way.
I know,
I'm
but-
just kidding.
But there's a lot of people that don't have that kind of even knowledge to go try and do something they grow.
Right.
Like it's whether you're growing your business, your sales, like you got to grow yourself first.
It's no different than our affirmations and gratitudes we do every
Exactly.
single morning.
Exactly. Or if you want to mix religion and prayer with it too. It's
Right.
the same aspects.
Yep.
So it's really changed my life in doing things.
Creating still space.
Yeah, and that walking meditation you saw, we do that once in a while with some of the neighbors, and a walking meditation is very different than.
So you walk with your eyes closed?
No, you'll kind of. you should
start-
almost like that, but you should. Yeah,
I
you
gotta
start-
watch
I-
this.
that'd be fun.
You shared that with me, and I did it.
I start throwing obstacles down in front of you.
Yeah.
Should watch this. Brian's going to
should
fall
be
flat on
kicking
his
the-
face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you start eyes closed, then you kind of walk a little bit with like a different kind of intention on your view, and then kind of stop again and back and forth a little bit. It's
Oh,
a
interesting.
Joe Dispenza thing, so it's really
Find
cool.
it and get back at it. And
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Huh. Usually on my walks, the only reason I close my eyes is because I can't breathe.
Yep. You know what's cool about all of it? It's taking quiet space to be intentional, to be with yourself, which gives you the capacity to take on other things, really.
Yeah.
And be purposeful in that. You know, that's best I can describe it.
It's the same thing as get up early and making your bed. Like do two
Exactly.
of those actions immediately when you do it, and you change your whole life and all that stuff. I've done that for years.
Not hitting the snooze button.
Yeah, one of my
It's
other
your
books.
first win.
Correct. That's the biggest thing that most people struggle with.
Yeah, they don't get it.
Yeah.
It's your first win of the day.
Second win, go drink some water, make your bed, and you're off and running.
First thing I do in the morning.
My other book put it in a nice way. It's like give yourself a gift in the morning. And it's not the gift intentionally, and this is how I always started making my bed when I was like 21 years ago, is it's not the fact that you're doing an achievement in the morning, right?
Right.
But it's more the gift when you get back in it at night.
Right.
That's way more to me. It's like, okay, how much better
Yeah,
is
it takes me 20 minutes because my
care of
wife has
yourself.
so many freaking pillows on the bed. It takes me 20 minutes to get them all off.
But it feels that much better when you get in
Right.
to a made bed and a messy
Right.
bed. You're like, I don't care.
Plus, look what you're teaching your kids, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Intentional purpose.
Yeah.
Intentional purposes.
I mean, most kids, you can't even go in the room because there's so much shit laying around. And
my kid's bed's so cozy, though. She has not all these snuggies, she calls them, or stuffies. All those little stuffed animal, whatever you get, all over the place.
Right.
Her whole bed's full. But her little feng shui in her little bed is the coziest little thing.
that's
I go in
funny.
there, she's like, I was like, your bed's cozy. She's like, yeah.
yeah. You know, when I grew up, my stepdad was kind of a lot of siblings, so in a small house. So it was chaotic and anyways, his way of dealing with it, if you know, kids, they don't keep the room clean. So and I had to share a room with 2 other brothers, so you can imagine that.
Oh, yeah.
And so the parents would tell us to go and clean our room. So we'd do it in a half-assed way because that's what you did. So
Snow shovel, push it all in.
Yeah, push it under the
right,
bed or
you
in the
shove it all
closet.
under the bed or whatever. So my stepdad would come in and literally, I think this happened maybe once or twice because it didn't take any more than that. And I mean, he'd give you plenty of chances and you just wouldn't do it. So he would come in my room and basically take every single item that there is in that room and pile it in a pile, like out of the drawers, out of the closet, out from under the beds, everything in a pile in the middle of the room. And it's like, now clean your room.
Made it worse. So keep on top of it.
You guys all know my cousin, but we would spend summers together and hang out and just wreak havoc on his dad's house. And he'd get so frustrated. Well, he came home one day and he'd been asking us to clean. And we hadn't.
Ruh-roh.
We were just playing. We just kept playing and having fun, just eating all the food. Anyways, he came home and he got garbage bags, and no BS.
Bagged up all the shit,
Bagged
threw it
all
away.
of his stuff and put it all bagged it all up, put it all on the back patio so he could see it. And I mean, Brandon lost it.
I'm sure.
No, but get it. So he was like, "It is no longer yours. It is garbage. You don't take care of it. It's garbage." My mom came to pick me up on it. My mom went through it, dude, and started scavenging and started taking shit from my cousin.
Oh my gosh. I can totally see your mom.
I know, dude.
Gosh, dude.
Like
What did Brandon do?
he was so upset.
Oh, I'm sure.
His dad followed through, dude. I think eventually he got to keep it, but
all but the stuff your mom did.
We had a bunch of
Shakes.
new stuff.
He's over there crying and totally having it out. I told you so, you little shit.
Yeah, it was so bad.
I like that. I told my kids that the other day. I was like, I'm going to do this. Because we have a lot of Nerf guns. So I just have to tell my son, Brecken, dart cleanup. And he just goes around the house with a little bag thing and cleans up. So
That's cool.
at least he's staying on top.
Yeah, but look what you're teaching your kids, dude.
Yeah.
You're teaching them responsibility. You're teaching them, you're teaching them all the things that a lot of kids aren't being taught right now.
No. And put them in front of a screen and do something no.
Right.
You guys sound like you're in it together.
I like it.
That is cool.
We are. We're always doing something. We do the jumpy houses once a week. We were just
Nice.
doing that last night. The trampoline houses, we're always doing something.
So how often do you have them?
Every other week.
Oh, good.
Almost 50-50. The state of Utah is not the
Right. And are you okay with their mom, or is that a stress point?
disaster.
Yeah.
I wish. I'm always trying to solve that and trying to work better for that.
It doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't.
I think it's chapters. And
Take a step back from yourself. Stop freaking making it all about you. And I'm just talking in general.
Oh, yeah.
Stop making it all about you and actually do something awesome for your kids and just put your
along.
shit away.
Get
Set the example. Don't just live off child support
Jesus.
and food stamps and live somewhere else. Do something that shows the kids proper.
Right.
Because they see me every morning. I'm up at 5. They know that
You're
I'm-
practically half an adult. Act like it.
Yeah. That's a huge soapbox we can go down on that one.
I'm not even sorry. I didn't even mean to open that can of worms.
I could go down a
Let's
big
not
rabbit hole.
go down that road. Let's not.
Well, yeah, teaching the kids thing is it's funny how much you teach them, but how much they teach you still.
Oh man, yeah.
The funniest things.
Oh, yeah.
The funniest things. I own one tattoo, and one tattoo is probably all I would get. It says "Life is life," and that's because my baby girl said that last year.
Dang, cool.
Because I was going through a lot last year.
Right.
Beyond what I've done. And then we took them camping. I backed into a rock with my forerunner. I'm barely hit it. Just popped the muffler down a little bit, and just pissed you off enough.
Yeah.
Then had a nice gym shirt on. I don't know if I had this, but the fire was sparking. So I had a thing
Burnt holes.
Tinder dropped a hole.
The gym stuff burns a huge hole quick. What? I was like, so I was complaining.
China stuff.
I was sitting right next to her, and I'm like, oh, my car, my shirt, and my sweet baby girl Adelaide looks at me. Life is life. Shrugs her shoulders. I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's
Profound,
awesome.
dude.
It gives me goosebumps still here.
That's
She just taught
profound.
me life check, 101. I'm like, all right.
And how old is she?
6.
From a 6-year-old.
From a
You just
6-year-old.
got yourself put right into place.
She's barely turned 6 when she did that. I'm like, oh my hell. So
Yep.
she just put me in the place, and now she'll do something or complain. Or she doesn't have attitude much, but she'll do something. Typical kid just stomps her. And I'm like, life is life. And you'll always get her that I love little giggle out of it. She's like reality check. And I taught Dad. He took it back to me.
Right. We're reading a book right now. It's called The Object is the Way. It's killer. Huh?
Obstacles.
I mean, the obstacle is the way.
Yeah.
Audible?
I'm sure it's Audible.
It is on Audible.
Always looking for new books.
We read every morning.
love it.
So anyways, I just read this book and we're rereading it now with the team. But the whole context of this book is that you're going to go through life every single day, and there are obstacles and objects that are going to get in your way every single day. It's number one, it's your perception of that object.
Correct.
Which we all make it 10 times worse than it really is or has to be.
Or procrastinate, and that makes it even bigger.
Yep. Or just give up because it's too much. The whole book is about, you're going to have these obstacles, and the kind of person you are based on how you handle that is the whole story behind it.
Yeah.
And you just find a way. You power through it. You find a way. You figure it out and learn from it. Don't just give up and it's too hard. I can't do that.
Yeah, what's that method? 1% a day of that growth compounds.
Yeah.
But it also can work in the negative way if you don't.
Exactly.
So step forward and do something.
Yeah.
Like I wake up every morning, I go walk around our lake that's 3 miles. Every morning I listen to a book. That's why I was like, I need more books. My goal this year is 50 books.
Wow. Good.
But I read a bigger book, Power of Human Nature. It was like 28 hours long. It kind of was
I love those.
Great book, but
it's long.
Hour a day that I'm doing it, like it just kind of wears on you a little bit.
Right, because you're not going to hit your 50 with a book like that.
No, but
you should have ex-nayed that out of your 50.
It was such a good one. It taught me a lot of where I kind of our stock exchange and I kind of our first kind of like scams kind of came from. They go into that a little bit.
Oh wow!
Because I forgot the whole name. The shipping company in Europe, it was a falsified scam pretty much. The shipping company that had that big fleet, so people were buying this and driving up the first essential stock or value of the company.
There's so many of those nowadays.
And I was like, okay, it's fascinating because
that crypto dude did the same thing.
It's the same.
Billions.
History always repeats itself.
Yeah.
Actually, another book says that history doesn't repeat itself.
People are so damn gullible because they're so freaked out about, I got to get in right now.
FOMO.
Yeah.
Total FOMO. Or the flip side that makes it the worst is the get rich, like something quick and easy.
I'm going to do something. It's not going to take any effort, and I'm going to make a whole bunch of money.
Don't do the work. I'm just going to make a lot. That's the biggest thing. That's what you're selling with your system too. Like, hey, you got to do the work. Yep. Do the work.
Yeah,
like,
our system doesn't work for shit if you don't do the work.
Correct. Right. Anything doesn't.
Nope.
Health.
And it's not easy, but it's doable.
Yeah. Break it down, compartmentalize, and just move forward every day.
One step at a time, man. Just do this.
Was it Walt Disney that says that? Like, keep moving forward?
Yeah.
I was like, that's always a good statement. Always keep moving forward.
Yeah, I've heard the quotes too. The most important step is the first step, and all kinds of stuff like that.
Or the
just take the step.
Yeah, take it.
Holy cow!
Take that risk.
I don't have a problem taking steps. I promise you that. All righty, man. Well, dude, this was entertaining. This is really cool. You're a smart cat, man.
Some days not.
No, I mean
I was actually
to even come up with this and then to create everything you've created. That's really cool, dude.
Well, that's kind of a funny thing to say too. As leads into what is that taking action, right?
Yeah.
How many things we've ever done in our life? Everyone has probably some kind of story they can relate to this too.
Sure.
Of looking at something like, I had that idea 5 years ago.
Right.
But someone took that action. Like this is the simplest thing that I've created. It really is. But I took the action to do something. And
now look what you've done.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And I like your name, by the way.
Thanks.
There's certain letters in the alphabet that are power letters that you remember, like, Kodak, Xerox, all those kind of X's and K's and Q's and Z's. And so good job. I like it.
I know the Vixo came from a different name prior to that wasn't a good name because we had to rebrand last year. That was part of that whole struggle that Adeline taught me.
But I mean, dude, it's a four-letter word and two of them are power letters.
Yes. And now it really sticks too.
Yeah, it does.
So brought you some shot glasses. You got some swag too.
Yeah. Thank you. By the way, very cool. I'm sure they'll get used.
It is Friday.
It is Friday. All righty, man. Well, thank you so much, brother, for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
It's really cool to meet you and get to know you, man. We have so many cool people on our show.
We have a monthly mixer that we'll invite you out to.
Yeah, you're going to get on the list. Don't let me forget. When we get done, I'll put you on the list.
Perfect.
And I'm also going to send you out a thing. And we've got this VIP 50 thing that I'm going to add you to.
Perfect.
Love it.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So I've already got it. Sorry. Too done.
Yeah, dude. This guy, you literally can't any social engagement, if you're within earshot, you're his new buddy. and you're sucked into what he's doing.
Dude, I listen. When I'm out, I listen.
Yeah,
I listen for pain and pleasure. I listen for.
It's awesome.
It's you have to. If that's what you're in and that's what you do, you have to.
Yeah.
And if your passion, do it.
Yeah, dude. All righty, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us here again on Beards on the Street, and
See you next week.
We'll see you next week. We got some fun stuff. Is next week? Is it the Blue Society next week, or is that the week after? I don't remember. But anyways,
but it's Memorial Day coming up next week.
yeah, it is. It's all right. I'll be here.
Yeah, but you're going to be floating as well that weekend.
I will. I'll be floating right after with the bevy in my hand.
He's got a boat, man. Sweet. Nice.
All righty, guys. Have a fantastic weekend, and we will see